How important was former President Bill Clinton's speech that he gave at the Democratic National Convention? We'd like to offer a different perspective on his speech. First of all, let me thank former President Clinton for the manner in which he presented his speech, the way he analyzed the issues, the way he communicated the issues, and the support that he gave President Barack Obama at the convention. But I think that President Clinton looked at the electoral map in this country and understood what we have to do, where we have to go, and who has to participate to help President Barack Obama win re-election. He also had a grasp for many of the grassroots issues that people are discussing in the barbershops, the beauty salons, at the churches, or basically on the corner as it relates to this election. He understands that they got to get fired up, but they got to have answers to many of the questions that he raised and analyzed. There was a debate among senior citizens who are wondering where we go from here, and they heard this and they heard that. And I think he was able to address those issues and understood that if he was in your living room and you had questions, he tried to give you the information needed to communicate with your friends and your relatives about where we are politically and what is the climate. We're going to be bombarded with advertisement, and much of the advertising is going to be confusing. We're going to be standing around debating whether we should or we shouldn't. So Clinton took the time to go issue by issue to discuss what is involved. What does that issue really mean? He actually went to school. It is important, if we don't have an informed electorate and people that are out there understanding what it is totally impossible to motivate them and mobilize them to come to the polls. There are some people in some quarters saying, well, the vote really doesn't count this time. They're still at President Obama's inauguration. They have not got out of that mode. There are those who said, well, maybe there's not enough going on. There's those who are talking about the economy. But nobody came forward to say, let me give you the answers and let's analyze what's being said. And let's address that as we go forward. And President Clinton has traveled the country, has stood for 2 elections as president and been successful. And he's able to rise above the emotionalism of an issue and analyze it. And it's badly needed on college campuses and churches and beauty shops, barbershops, that we have the information that is necessary. So as he talked and the convention responded, he was really reaching out beyond the convention. He was going into rural areas, talking to people. He was talking to the guy that's catching the bus to go to work, or getting in the cab, or those who were walking. He was basically trying to say, let me tell you where the country is. And I want to personally thank President Clinton for taking the time. And there were some who said, well, he stayed on too long. To do the kind of analyzation that he did, you cannot do it in 10 minutes. It's vitally important that you take the time to explain so folks can take notes. They can digest what you're saying so they can understand what it is. And to place President Barack Obama's name in nomination to be reelected and be the candidate of the Democratic Party, I thought was very powerful. I thought some of the lines that President Clinton used was just unbelievable. But he brought it down. He showed about one word: cooperation. What we can get and accomplish with cooperation. What we can move, what we can do. What really was the job issue. Who got jobs, who didn't get jobs. Who's going to save Medicare, who's not going to save Medicare. Who's going to talk about moving the country forward and who's not? Who knows about foreign affairs and don't? So I want to take my hat off to President Clinton. I suggest that everybody tape or try to get a copy of his speech so you can play it to the various groups so they can hear and understand what's at stake in this election. This is a historic election. This is going to be a close election, and there's going to be a lot of distortions and trickery used in trying to keep people from voting, trying to keep people from understanding the real issues, trying to keep the people from moving forward and voting as they should to move this country. And we need the truth told, and we need to analyze these issues. And much of the media will not take enough time to analyze the issues that are being discussed. They hear them and they jump on something and go to running with emotionalism. I thought Bill Clinton looked at them from a political, social, economic perspective and brought it on home for the average voter in America. We thank you, President Bill Clinton.